Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 2B2T. We are here with 496 players, a little bit less. No lag at the moment, so yay! We are here. All right. So, we've had a continuous problem with golems spawning where they shouldn't. And part of this is, that I built this farm, of course, not up in the sky or anything like that, but here in the middle of the base because I'm taking advantage of the proxy. And it is working very well. However, for example, if I log off, and I go to sleep or I go to work and then I come back, there'll usually be a dozen golems spawned out here and then one or two over there. Like there's one right there. Um, I've already murdered these, unfortunately. I put them out of their misery and terrible existence. So it's been like, okay, but we've slabbed everything. Where in the world are they spawning, right? And the rules say that they would spawn within a 17 by 17 by 6 block area of the villager. Okay, so the villager, um, the closest villager would be like right here, right below us. If they're sleeping in the beds, they would be in these 3 blocks here, which means that, okay, so if I go out 8 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this would be the total spawnable area, right? And so on. And then go 6 blocks up. So the villagers are, the beds are at that 3rd block down there. So, that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. This here would be the top highest block that they could spawn. And so, of course, look, slabs everywhere. I even put slabs here where this was coming down, and I slabbed up the floor in here even because this is the 6th block. And so it's like, okay, there, I've got it all taken care of. They can't spawn. Nope, they are still spawning. So I went and did some digging and said, okay, well, where could they possibly spawn? And the only place I could think of would be, are they spawning on a half block? Meaning, right here. Because it's not slabbed. There's 3 whole blocks here to give them room to spawn. Of course, there's the glass pane, but can they spawn here with a glass pane? Looked it up. Yep, they can spawn there with a glass pane. So that's where they've been spawning. They've been spawning on this window and this window, which makes perfect sense because they're always just crowded right up here. That's where they've been spawning. Now, there is another possibility in some of the other areas, in that if you have a block like this and then you have a solid block on top, they can spawn here. Technically, they kind of get themselves trapped in the block. We had that going on inside the tower until I filled in the gaps. So that would be another possibility. So that means I need to think about my structure here and how I'm going to do this hallway, particularly coming this direction. This space here, which is part of the library, and half of this room at least, because of that. Which means I've got to do a couple things. One, I either got to keep the entire area slabbed, including the windows, or, which then I can't have my nice designs, or I've got to raise it all up, meaning that I've got to raise this floor up 1 more block, and then the floors I put out here have to be at this level. That has to be the floor level for this entire space room, and technically for the majority of this room, so we're going to say the entire room to make it even. So that's not a big problem. We can do that. And so that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to go get a bunch of smooth stone. We're going to dig up these slabs and we're going to raise up the foundation to this level. And then, of course, on top of that, we will put in our floor design and we will raise all of the windows on this hall so where they are also starting here. So we're going to get rid of the glass here on the bottom, and we're going to do that. It does mean I need to kind of revamp my design because that's going to be floor. So I may change a little bit here on the design as well. And of course, we'll have to raise this up as well so that we have the doorways going out. And then I'll need to do the same thing out here. Now, this will be a little bit easier because, right now I've got it all slabbed, but like, for example, where these are, which is the towers, they have spawned a couple times on that, but they just die right away because they're trapped in the blocks. So I'm not worried about that one. It's not this one that they spawn on. It's the only one that's over there off on the end. They can I've seen one spawn on top of the block right there on that side, and they just die immediately because they suffocate in a block. But so I'm not going to worry about that. But anyways, on this tower, this is not the top of the wall. The wall is actually going to go up. So if I take that off as an example, I will be building up a design of this wall to about this height, which is basically the floor height over there as well. So this will be the top of the wall on the, for just in general, like in that space. And then the towers themselves, these little towers, will go up like another level and have like a tower feature on it. So probably work on that a little bit as well in a different video and whatnot. But that is what we are going to be doing. So the first thing I need to do is get blocks. So let's put these expensive blocks away. Well, andesite's not really an expensive block per se. It is for me because, well, I don't have it in high quantities. I need to go mine it and all that good stuff. All right, we're going to keep torches. All right, so let's go get some... Oh, yeah, by the way, before I do that, we have shulks. This is Narnia. All of these shulks, this entire row and this is Narnia. I've made 3 copies of it, so we're going to put one here, and then I'm going to go stash the other 2 so that I have backups, right? I'll probably make more copies eventually, but we need more iron, redstone, and paper to make the maps, because just to do Narnia and make 3 copies of everything took me 12 hours and 5 entire shulks filled with stacks of 64 maps. So anyways, Narnia's here. We're going to start putting up Narnia. We also have Angel's mirror here in these shulks. I need to make copies of these. I do have 1 copy stashed, but I need to make more copies of these because there's only 1 in here. The bad thing about these is they are just like the original one I had. They are not numbered. Now the shulks are numbered, which helps, but that's something I'm going to do. Is I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and bring Anvil over. I'll go sit at the Emerald Farm, get 100 levels, 200 levels, probably. And as I take these out, I will put an identifier on them, just like here in Narnia, so that I know, oh, this is row 20, column 26. I know exactly where it goes, right? I need to still pick up, I have it, but I need to pick it up. Angel's Melody, the other big one over there. I can do it 2 ways. I can go make a copy myself, but I did have a copy made for me. I'll still have to make duplicates. I just have to pick it up from the guy that did it for me. He's not been available recently because of school and stuff, which is fine. No hurries. We'll get it taken care of. For now, I need a bunch of these. We're gonna have to get this farm going as well. I'm gonna have to AFK it. I've been AFKing a lot on all of my accounts, just to kind of store up supplies, including the bees. Hey, we've got half a shulk full of beehives now that are ready to go for an actual honey farm, so that's good. We'll keep doing that. All right. So we need to bring this entire area up 2 floors. did you spawn there? My goodness. Sometimes I just don't get how some of these things spawn, but anyways. So we're going to do it from here. This is the upper library section. This is the big library. I'm not going to raise up the big library. I'm going to leave it alone, and then this will be like a raised section. So we need to go up 2 blocks for this entire section. And this is what we're going to build the floor onto. So we're just going to go around and work on this and remove all of the slabs because I can't place a block on top of the slabs. Yeah, I've started carrying around a trident and using it a lot, which is cool. I've never really used a trident very much. But it's been very handy, and since we have bazillions of them from the stash find, you know, might as well, right? All right, anyways. So I'm going to work on this. And again, you know, I can't just do that because according to the rules in the wiki, an IG could now spawn because they would spawn here. And which doesn't make sense to me because you think, okay, the rules say they can't spawn on slabs. However, the rules say that if there are 2 blocks above like that, or even an active redstone block of some sort, like an observer or whatever, they will spawn now where I'm standing. They'll be trapped in the blocks, but they will spawn. And I know that's true. I've seen it. Look, see, we got another one that spawned out there somewhere. So yeah, we're going to work on this, get the floors taken care of, all that good stuff. So let me dig up the tiles, put all this down, get these rooms ready. We'll have to salvage all this stuff. I don't want to waste the blocks underneath the floor. Do that, raise the windows. Yeah, we got lots to do here, but that will stop the spawning because it does slow down the farm a lot. We also need LZ. He's going to come back and work on the delivery system down below. I should probably check it. In fact, let's do that. You know, he had the minecart system set up, delivering iron to over here, and it broke. I tried resetting it. It broke again. Then I reset it again. It broke again to where the minecart kept ending up inside of the chests. So I came over here and I just put in... Okay. All of a sudden there's nothing. Unless Trace, maybe he came on and cleared it out or fixed the farm. No, this doesn't look like it's fixed. There's nothing in these. The proxy's been on all night while I slept, so where is... Problem is I can't get to the back chests here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it is working. It's filling these up. It just hasn't filled it up all the way. All right, cool. So anyways, and I need to check this. Okay, good. I've emptied this out because it was a single chest and it got full, and then that also clogged the system up. So we don't have the perfect storage and sorting system yet for this, but we've got a bunch more iron. I've used up so much iron making maps to copy Narnia, as well as other maps I was invited to. Not invited, I found and then checked, and it was an ally, and was able to take advantage of a large farm. Not farm, but a large map base. So I've been spending time copying maps. I've still got a lot to copy. And stashing away and then deciding. There's some really cool ones too that I've never seen before, and it's like, oh, those are going to go up in the base. Anyways, I will be back. I'm going to work on this and take up slabs and yeah, all that good stuff. We got to mine all these out because we can't just place blocks on top of them. That won't work. But we're going to work on this and get a floor on top of it. Also, so that there's just no spawns, and we'll change up the bottom of the tower too. So you'll change a few designs here in places. but we're going to get it all taken care of, which includes filling all of these areas so that there's no space. Now nothing's spawned down here, but there's no reason for this space. So I'll fill it in as well with blocks. We'll get it all filled in. Alright, I will be back. Alright, we're back. So we have completed raising this hallway up, raising all of this, the windows, the entrances, even the outside, raising this up and redoing that, and setting where we're going to start doing the inside wall. I think I will adjust some of this slightly because, you know, the bottom here we have this design, but the top is a little bit different, so I'll probably take this down and make it look like this and lower this slightly. Because we're going to have a ceiling go across anyways. Also raise the entrance here to this so it goes up, and then this. I haven't done anything down there. It's all slabs, so I'm not worried about it yet. We just put torches in. And then we filled all of this in, but we haven't completed, you know, putting all of this in. I am taking advantage of some of the slabs that I'm mining up and just kind of like doing this so that, you know, it saves time and effort, and I can use it to my advantage of just, you know, getting the blocks in and whatnot. Nothing has spawned over here, right here anymore, but I still keep getting a spawn over here, just a random guy. Now I did raise this window up, so they can't spawn there anymore. I'm not sure, I mean, he started up here, so he spawned somewhere in here, and so I don't think it would be this block because these are in the way. You know, that's one of the requirements, is that, but those are the only spots that I can think of that possibly it spawned. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get these two as well as the ones on the other side here taken care of. Let's go ahead and get rid of the two. Come here, you. So that way we can monitor if anything spawns over here. There we go. Alright. Don't have to worry about that part. We'll go ahead and get these. We'll just match up all around on the edge. Because it's the only remaining location, and we don't have to worry about that one, that as far as around the tower, that I think, well, maybe they're spawning right there. Yeah. So we'll see. So that's two up. It's, you know, I mean, it's even with this floor here, which technically they shouldn't be able to spawn on, and nothing has spawned on it yet. So, I mean, part of me says that I probably didn't need to raise this up, this block. I could have kept it here because this wasn't the problem. The problem was the windowsills and how they were spawning, you know, the one block below. But we're gonna go, it's raised, it's fine. We're gonna adjust it. So I've already decided on the floor for the library. We're gonna use a dark oak. So I'm gonna go get some dark oak so I can lay this out. And I have to determine how far. Now I have this tagged to where it comes clear over here, which is fine. And then there's this like courtyard area. Obviously this all has to be raised up now. But there's this courtyard area here that I'm going to have to figure out as well. So, you know, we'll have the upper windows over there, but I was planning on having windows here too into this courtyard area, which was going to be grass. So I'm going to figure that out. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and work on getting this raised up, and then adjusting the bottom edge of all of this because we're raising this entire room. So I'm going to work on that next, and then we'll be back. All right, we're back. We have raised everything up except for the actual top layer of the flooring here, which we are putting in, at least for the library. We're going to do dark oak. I was surprised that I don't have a lot of dark oak, so I'm going to have to go chop down a bunch of trees to get a bunch of saplings, and then go to the farm base and have my alt AFK dark oak wood on the farm, because this is all I've got. Maybe I put a chest. I thought I had a couple shulks, but maybe I put them away into a stash. So, or it's possible someone else has grabbed them and is using them on a build or something. So, I mean, that's fine. We need more anyways. The most annoying thing about dark oak is that even though I have an auto farm for it, which works really well, unfortunately, you don't get the full return of saplings from the farm. So eventually you just run out of saplings and you can't do anymore. So you have to go find natural trees or trees that you're growing to get saplings. So that's kind of annoying a little bit on the farm. Doesn't Okay, for a moment I thought I've been watching spawns to watch where the golems spawn. So they haven't spawned here, but then so that block right there was was lower, and there was a wall piece right there, and they were still spawning on that. So I've raised that up and put that design all along. So hopefully that solved that spawn location, and we won't get any more spawns out there. I'm just gonna keep looking and try to catch the actual spawn so I can see where they spawn, and then eliminate it. Eliminate their ability. That is the goal. So right now I'm putting in the library floor here, at least for this section, because it's all I have wood for. And then that way nothing will spawn inside, and we'll be able to start some design work and stuff. And I've got to design the floor for in there, because there is a chance they can still spawn in that section. They haven't yet, which bears cadence to what I thought, that they wouldn't be able to spawn on this level because nothing spawned there yet. However, out here they still spawned the one block lower on a slab right there. So it was like, okay, but maybe that was because, you know, the rules I mentioned where they can spawn on a slab if there's a block above it of some sort, and maybe the wall counts as that block, and that's why it still spawned. I'm assuming that is. Whereas if it's just air and there's nothing there, they can't spawn because it's already met the height requirement or the distance requirement, which is really funny, because you'd think, well, if this is the distance requirement and they can't spawn on this, then how can they spawn on this block if a wall or a piece of glass is on it? You know, right? I don't know. Spawn mechanics are very tricky. I am definitely not an expert on understanding it all. So, yeah. All right, that completes that. We are going to smooth it out so that we have a nice fancy library floor. Of course, we still got to do all this area, so that's why, and the levels, so that's why I need lots more dark oak. And then I've got to decide a complementary wall design in between the books, because my plan is that you know, obviously there'll be bookshelves, both the original Minecraft bookshelves as well as the placeable bookshelves, the ones that you can actually put books into, that they look much better than the old bookshelves, the originals. So obviously I'll have those, but then and strategic lighting in places and stuff like that, you know, lamps and chandeliers and stuff like that. But since this is a library, makes sense that we should have some nice artwork as well as some artifacts and stuff like that. So there'll be a couple display cases in some areas where, like, maybe one I'll put a dragon egg, another one I'll put a dragon head, another one I'll put, I'll put rare items, right? Or they may not be totally rare, but seemingly rare, and so they're special type stuff, right? But then in other places, I will make space for artwork. Some of it fairly large. I mean, there is a couple, like, there's like artwork of Rodan from Elden Ring. Really awesome artwork. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5 by 7. It's quite large. I've already got copies of it, as well as others. We've got, of course, Alenia and Melania and waifu. I forget her name from Elden Ring 2 that are large ones. They're the big 4 by 6s. So I'll put those in through the library as well as other strategic art. I'm going to be really picky on which art I choose, make it look really nice. But here we are. We've got a first flooring of this library section here. Obviously, we'll have to expand it down there or down here, and then figure out, where we're going to go up and how we're going to do those stairs. Because unfortunately, even though I have, I can create stairs and slabs out of out of planks, but I can't create them out of this nice textured wood. So I'll have to figure out a strategy. I also realized that I probably want to do this. Oh wait, I did that wrong. There we go. There we go. That way, I need to name a bunch of these cats too. They can be free, but I need to like name them so they can wander the palace and stuff. That'll be cool. All right. Oh nope. Okay, never mind. We've got it backwards here. Not sure how I did that. So bump, 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 and bump, and bump. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so this is done, spawn proofable. We can start. I've left a 3-block wide here for the walls because same thing, like in this hall, I want to mirror this on this side, and then where the windows are will be artwork. So 3 by 5 artworks and stuff. And then, of course, where the door is, there'll be a door into the library. So technically, then, I can put a transition block here, but then this, oops, wrong direction, can be like that. So that's where the door is. The only thing I don't like, I'll have to make custom doors to be 3 wide. Same thing over here. I've already determined that, so like the library door, obviously I can do the dark oak trap doors. In fact, here, let's just take a quick look. We've got time on this video just to kind of play around. We're almost at the end of the video here, but let's grab, we'll just take that, and then what is it there? So we can do this. This isn't quite enough, but you'll kind of get the picture of what I can do. So we can have some that are just closed, obviously, but I do want them to be more open. And so my plan is like I could put that and that, Now this is going to be against the wall, so um, so I can make a nice 3-high door like this, and it looks like the door is open. Or of course I can close it. Now the problem is that if you come along and there's a door, yeah, you could get through the slabs, but you wouldn't be able to get in, or I mean, you wouldn't be able to just open it, right? I mean, you could open the trap doors and squeeze through them easy enough, but you wouldn't be able to open it. So we can keep some doors open like that. So I mean, that'll look good. Wonder if I can fit, you know, if I was to put blocks here, would I be able to put like an item frame behind this trap door? And then a button to make it look, let's try. Oh, hey, there's a cat that just jumped up on the desk. Here, let me move this kitty, or otherwise you're probably going to knock this over. There's a plate and cup in the way. He wants to lay down. I've already got 2. He's decided that, well, I want to be up here too if the others are here. So, you know, we got to do, oh yeah, there's a slab, an item frame right here. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. I wonder if we can get a little creative in the design, right? If a button doesn't work, maybe a, darn it, we can't. I was hoping I could put a item frame behind the trap door and then put like a button on it so it sticks through the trap door. Well, we tried. All right, well, anyways, so we made good progress. We've raised up everything. I've got the outside design work on that wall to do and whatnot, you know, since we've raised up the floor and everything. But overall, it's raised. It's looking much better. You know, we've got a plan of what we can do to start work on everything. So very good. And it looks like overall that we've stopped the spawning. We'll still watch, you know, as I go to, I'll be going to work here soon. So I'll AFK myself over at the farms over there. And then, of course, the proxy is always online, so be activating here. I'll go empty the chest down below just to make sure there's room for iron and flowers. And allow it to just work for a good, you know, 9-10 hours. And see if anything spawned when I come back. If I come back and nothing has spawned, then, whoops, I wanted to stop at the chest here. Then success. We have finally cleaned up and maximized the farm. So I can't complain about that, right? Can't complain about that. There we go. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go set up and we'll go from there. I need to breed the bees again. So we might as well do that since it's daytime. The bees and the cows here to end the episode. We have brand new hives in here that they need to populate. So let's get to populating since I have pulled out all of the other hives. Come here. All right, let's breed. Give me little bumblies, little cute bumblies. They're so cute, the little ones are. Okay, anyone else? Do we got them all? Okay, we got them all. All right, you guys fill up the new hives. We mined up that entire bottom row and most of the top ones last time, so. In fact, here they are. Most of them, they all have 3 bees. I was going, well, why aren't they 5? But then I realized, oh yeah, because if there's empty hives, they won't go to, there's one with 1 bee, but they won't go and fill these up to 5 bees in a hive. Excuse me, if there's empty space. I looked up the mechanics. So, yep. We need to get a little more wheat for the cows. So let's come over here. Eventually we'll have to speed up our harvest capability of wheat too. AFKing's helping, but it's not a lot. I do need to get a carrot and I need to get the other farms up too, so that we have those. So that in this area, if you happen to come AFK over here, you know, you're gonna get bees, you're gonna get leather and cows, you're gonna get iron, you're gonna get, you know, if you turn on the stone machine, you're gonna get that, you know, so. Get it going. Is that all of you? Okay, cool. Alright. Might as well turn on this machine too and let it run while I'm AFK. Gotta see what it's set to. Let me see. So this is to start it. That's the carpet duper. Let's get that going. Smooth stone or cobblestone. Which is which? Woody didn't indicate. So if it's pulled this way, does that mean it's cobblestone and stone? And if I push it, does that... Okay, so I saw the water. Okay, so this here, towards me is cobblestone and stone. Away from me is smooth stone. Okay. All right. Well, then let's get this going. Boom. There we are. Voila. So we can just stand right here and AFK for a while. And I'm going to get ready for work and stuff and then go to work. All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining, everybody. We will see you in the next episode. Take care.